So there are three ways that we think about in starting a company. There are three types of people that will walk into this center, the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship. The first person that walks in and says, I have a technology. This could be someone from the labs or someone who just seen a technology, and they say, I have a technology. I want to start a company based off this technology. So they're starting with the technology, and they've got a hammer, and now they're looking for a nail. So it's a solution looking for a problem. It's a solution actually looking for a market. So that's what we call technology push. Technology push. It can be a hard thing, but it can be very rewarding because we already have a competitive advantage in here. The second type of person that comes in here says, I have an idea. I used to work in an industry and they had this big problem, and this problem needs to be solved. And I believe that there's a solution out there. I don't know what exactly that solution is, but they have an idea because they understand a market, and they understand that market has a problem that, if solved, would be very rewarding. This is what we call market pull. Market pull. So this, you already have a known market, so the risk is lower, but the issue here is you don't necessarily have that inherent competitive advantage that you have over here. Now you'll say, what else is there? Well, the third type of person that comes in here all the time is someone who has a passion to be an entrepreneur. I want to control my own destiny. I've seen what can happen. I want to have an impact on the world and really make a difference. I want to test my talents to the maximum. And these are people that have a passion to be an entrepreneur. And that is a wonderful thing, to have that passion. However, it's not enough to start a company. You can't just want to start a company and that starts a company. You have to then migrate from a passion to either a technology or an idea. So, and usually that happens because someone says, I want to be an entrepreneur, then they have to join up with somebody else, and joining a team and creating a team, as we've talked about before, is very important to success in entrepreneurship, of someone who already has a technology or someone who already has an idea. So really, while there's three types, the people in passion really have to join up and end up in either technology or an idea. So now let's talk about how we go from I have a passion to a technology or an idea. What are the factors, even within a technology or an idea, that you would decide with your team? Now, we talked about joining with a team. What are those things that you would make a factor to decide? First of all, you would start with knowledge. You want to be working in an area or technology or marketplace that you understand, that you have a knowledge about. But that's necessary but not sufficient. The next thing is that you have to have a capability there, something that's special to you. You might be good at material science, and that would allow you to do energy storage. You might not have that expertise, but you might have an understanding, after having worked at Raytheon for 10 years, of what the aerospace industry is about and the issues that they face. So that's a special capability that you can build up. The third thing would be connections. Connections, you say, well, that's something that's easy. No, that actually is an asset that you and your team would have. Do you know the proper people in this industry? Do you know the people who really understand energy storage or whatever the other technology is that you might be working on? Having the right connections is a valuable asset that should not be overlooked. The next one, number 4, would be financial assets. You might have very few financial assets, or you might have a lot of financial assets. Understanding the level of financial assets you have, be it very small, medium, or large, will dictate what markets are good for you. If you don't have a lot of assets, it's very hard to play in industries such as clean energy, where the price of poker is very high, where the price of entry is very high. So the next one is name recognition. So when you look at these markets, You might know the market, you might have capability in that market, you might know the right people, you might have the financial assets, but do the people in that market know someone on your team? Will they return the call when you contact them? Inherent in this is credibility that you would have as well, and that credibility would come from past work experience. Now, past work experience could contribute as well to capability and knowledge and connections. But I bring that out because there's other things that would come from past work experience that I might not have included in here. Number 7 would be a passion. What you're going to be doing when you choose it, you better love, because if you can't see yourself doing this for the next 6 years, you're very likely not going to be a successful entrepreneur. You have got to have a lot of passion for what you're doing. So I said there were eight items that we would consider: knowledge, capability, connections, financial assets, name recognition, past work experience, which might contribute to other ones, and passion. We need to have passion. The last thing is, even if you have all those things, the last one you need is commitment. When we look at who will succeed and who will not succeed, who we take in our Founder Skills Accelerator, who we take into our more select classes, one of the number one things we look at is commitment, because the person who is committed to this, they're burning the boats, this is what they're going to do, is going to be more successful. Other people might start off with better technology, but in the end, the person who has the commitment is going to pass them all. So those are the things that we look at as you go from a passion to a technology or an idea, and then within the technology or idea, which one are you going to choose? These are some of the important factors that you must think about.